another comic. Welcome back to just another episode of Just Another Podcast. How you guys doing tonight?
Doing good.
Good.
Not bad.
Good. I'm here with Steve, Robert, and KJ. They're all from a little bit different from St. Louis, right? I'd say all from the coast to coast, huh? You're from L.A.
Los Angeles.
You're from Chicago.
That's right.
And you're from Florida.
Yes.
That's a pretty fun show did we have. What did you guys think of it?
It was perfect, man. It was really good. Wonderful crowd. The venue was really nice.
Good.
I really enjoyed it.
Good. I'm glad. I'm glad you had a good time. Is this your guys' first time in St. Louis?
No,
It's mine.
I've been a few
You've been
times.
here before?
Yeah.
First time in Missouri.
First time?
First time.
Wow.
First
So we got
time.
two first times, and what'd you guys think of it?
I think my set would have gone better if it hadn't been for that jackass in the cowboy hat.
Yeah. We had some hecklers, and I'm not gonna lie, that was kind of the first show we had with some hecklers. So it's kind of like
There were some people who didn't even look like they wanted to be at a comedy
Yeah.
show. Like,
I think there's a lot of them that this is actually their first stand-up show. So you guys
wouldn't
kind
be
of
surprised.
yeah. But how'd you guys think your set went overall versus at other places?
Man, I think my set went pretty well. No set is the same.
Mm-hmm.
Even if you perform at the same place over and over, the crowd is always going to be different. The way you deliver your set is always going to be different.
Mm-hmm.
You may add something, take something, be a little more interactive with the crowd.
Yeah.
So I think it's always different, and diversity of the crowd always helps.
Yeah.
Well, in spite of what I said earlier, I do feel like they got into me as I went on. It's always difficult having to follow the host, but I felt like some of the stuff, it was more slow burn humor for them, I guess. But it's good to get out of the city, certainly, and good to try stuff in front of a different audience. It keeps
Yeah.
it fresh,
Absolutely. What about you?
I thought I had a great set. Audience was great. It was kind of good to get out here post Christmas. I wasn't sure how many people would come out
Yeah.
right after the holidays. We had a great room, great turnout.
Yeah.
And everybody seemed to be really into it, and hopefully they had a great time.
Yeah,
I did.
That's what I was kind of worried too about with the new year. A lot of things are kind of slow, and I was like, well, hopefully, still people want to come out, and they came out and kind of, had a good time.
I admit I didn't know what to expect with the venue since this is
Yeah.
my first time here. Like, I didn't know it was going to be a banquet hall. I wasn't really sure what to expect.
Yeah, we've been moving between two different venues, and this one has a lot better features with the lighting and the staff and the tables and everything. So it's just been a learning experience as we're growing. So it's been a whole lot of fun, and I can't thank you guys enough for coming and being a part of the show. How long have you guys each been doing comedy? Because I feel like with me being newer, I can definitely see the levels of the experience. So if you'd like to go, or actually, would you like to go first? We'll come back this way.
I started comedy in 2010. I got a regular hosting job at a club in 2019. Kind of been more steady since 2019, getting more bookings and more gigs. And I try to get out of state at least like a few times a year.
Yeah, nice.
I started in 2011 when I was a college student in Boston. Good place to start,
Yeah.
Audience is there. If they don't like you, they'll let you know.
They'll let you know,
And if
yeah.
you're not from there, they'll also let you know.
it. Yeah.
It's my 7th year. This will be my 7th
Nice.
year of stand-up. Started in 2019, or that's when I really started taking it serious.
Yeah.
It was my dad who really opened that door for me. As a teenager, he had a bunch of old Steve Harvey DVDs, and that's what really opened that door for me. I remember being in high school, getting in trouble for repeating jokes.
Yeah.
So, that's what really got me started.
Yeah, it was really cool to see the different styles of the comedy too. Like I felt like each comic had their own like not just style but like the cadence and everything like that. And it was really really cool to see the people who've been doing it for a while kind of hone in on their lane and their craft, and you can really see it. So it was really neat. What has been your guys' best experience so far? I've been doing it for so long.
My best experience has just been the different types of people.
Yeah.
Being able to, usually a lot of my jokes, I'm able to relate to all walks of life. No matter race, black, white, green, purple. I've always been able to relate to people, and then young, older, it doesn't matter. And I kind of pride myself on that, being able to touch one person in the audience. And I've always said, as long as I make one person laugh, then I've done my job.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. What has been kind of your best experience?
We had a lady after one of the shows. She came up to us and she was a little misty-eyed, and her mom had passed a few weeks before that. She had the tickets, and she wasn't sure she was going to come, but she hadn't been out, and so she wanted to come, and she had a really good time. She's glad she came.
Yeah, she
It's
felt
nice to make her
good.
feel better
Yeah.
for at least a few minutes.
That's a great thing. Like sitting over on the side, like I'm just watching the crowd laugh, and I'm like, this is such a fun. Like my cheeks were hurting from smiling just so hard. So, but what was your best experience?
In all the years I've been doing
Yeah.
comedy, that's tough
It
to
is.
pick, honestly. I do sometimes think about the fact that there could be someone in the audience, who really needed that laugh or needed to put whatever problem they were having out of their mind, and that definitely feels good to know that I could have helped with that.
Right.
That they could have put their whatever was bothering them out of their mind for the few
Right.
minutes that I was on stage.
You guys traveling, what has been like a pro and con with traveling to different venues to perform?
It keeps the material fresh. The material you can get tired of doing it if you're doing it for the same people. The same venue
Yeah.
every week. And personally, I like to travel. I realize a lot of comedians probably don't. They'd rather just do all their gigs, wherever they're based. But I enjoy traveling, and getting to see different parts of the country.
Yeah,
I definitely think it's a lot of fun, and of course, it can have its hiccups as all travel can.
Right.
But this trip has gone pretty smoothly
well, good,
so far.
good. Knock on wood that it keeps going that well. What has been like a pro or con that you would say with traveling?
Because I do a lot of hosting. We get a lot of regulars, so I feel like I need to come up with new material, keep it fresh for
Yeah.
our audience, our regulars. It's kind of nice to travel a little bit and kind of just break out the material that I've really been able to kind of craft and
Yeah.
perfect and really hone in on. And then I also like hitting the breweries and distilleries in whatever town or state that I visit. So
That's really cool. I know the Anheuser-Busch has a good tour. I don't know if you've already kind of looked at that, but they do like a free beers or two at the end. And I don't drink, so I don't know. That might be like every one. I feel dumb. But what has been a pro and con with traveling for you?
Pro has always been just being able to see a different part of life. Of course, being from LA, a big city, and then being able to come, especially Midwest and Southern states, being able to see how people live their lives. And, one thing I've always loved is, the different food places that we don't have in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
I've eaten at Waffle House twice already.
We went up to Chicago, and I felt like we did the same thing. So
Yeah.
like going to different places to try and the food is kind of like
course,
is always fun.
White Castle.
Culver's yet? Have you tried that?
I haven't yet.
There's one at the end of the street here.
Yeah,
It's pretty
I'll
good.
definitely go
pretty
and check
good.
it out. Just being able to the people is different.
Yeah.
Being able to see how people live their life, the different cultures. And then it just gives me an opportunity to continue to grow my craft. Being
Absolutely.
able to relate to them.
Absolutely.
Even though I'm across the country, I can still come and be able to relate to them.
I feel like
And then
with you guys traveling and you're
Yeah.
doing your jokes and getting a good getting a good laugh at the crowd means you're doing it well because your jokes are delivering in somewhere else that no one's even
Yeah.
heard of you. So I feel like that's pretty cool.
yeah, and then a con is I would probably say just the traveling part.
Really.
Having to
Yeah.
get on a plane and do all that. While I was on a plane, it was a guy rapping to a SoundCloud mixed track. And then there was an Asian guy sitting right next to me. The aisle seat was open, and instead of him just moving over to the aisle seat, he wanted to stay cuddled up next to me the whole flight.
Hey, Cam. Hey, I bet he enjoyed his flight. I bet you he enjoyed his flight. But thank you guys again so much for being a part of this show. I can't wait for the future events and future shows that we get together on. And then if you want to let the people know your social media, so where they can go and follow you, you guys can go down you can start here and go down there.
Steve Kalisic, Kalisik, and I'm found at Steve K Comedy at Instagram and Facebook.
You can follow me at Robert Rule Comedy on Instagram, and also I have a YouTube channel named that.
Nice.
You can find me on Instagram or TikTok, KJ Reed, KJ Reed, REED 24.
All right. Well, I'm Tyler the Comic. You guys have a good one.